Hello. So we have a new anonymous question that has come in, and it goes like this. Biologically, a human being is not sexually active most of the time. But why do I, a 22-year-old boy, find myself obsessed with sexual urges? Why is this anti-biological thing happening to me? So this is a very interesting question which you have asked. Being a 22-year-old, I can understand that this could be a very confusing time for you. And it's quite good of you that you are able to question your urges. You are able to reach a state of trying to see your urges, your actions, your thoughts, feelings, instead of just flowing with them all the time. Although in the question that you have claimed that most of the time you find yourself involved in your sexual urges, obsessed with your sexual urges, yet it takes some kind of a clarity, at least some level of seeing to be able to even ask this question. And when you ask that why is something so anti-biological happening to you, well, let me tell you that what is happening to you is extremely biological. Rather, it's nothing other than biological when one talks of any kind of urges or being pulled towards their natural instincts. Because as we have talked in the previous videos as well, we are a creation of nature, and naturally we are attracted towards our own prolonging, because sexual desires or anything that is making you want to go towards that is trying to prolong itself. It is just your basic biology that is making you do this. Now, coming to the earlier part of your question as to why you find yourself so obsessed with these thoughts. When one tries to see that, it is often said that if you do not give your mind, your body, something which is higher in terms of raising your consciousness, or you can even call it a worthy work, something that interests you, something that makes you grow. If ample of such opportunities are not provided to you, or you do not take it upon yourself to keep yourself busy with such things, then it is the default programming of the body to delve or obsess with a certain thing. It is natural and in a way also healthy to have such kind of desires or anything of that sort, to the extent that they do not become an obsession, rather they act as a motivator for you to become a more rounded person. Many people who call themselves as gurus or religions believe in a lot of suppression. They feel that any negative thought is restricted, prohibited, or is some sort of a blasphemy. And in thinking that, they try to suppress it by any means possible. They think of themselves as the evil, and in that way, they just drive a big crack through their own existence. And by making such distinctions, we alienate parts of ourselves. Real religion, real spirituality or truth or anything you can call it, does not want you to alienate parts of yourselves. Rather, it wants you to understand what is subconscious. The things that are happening to you subconsciously have to be brought into the jurisdiction of your consciousness. And would you do that by completely isolating parts of you, or just trying to know it? By criminalizing, by exterminating parts of ourselves, we are taking ourselves further away from the truth. So when you look at things scientifically, when you look at it without having a taboo about things, then you come to understand that you need not be your own enemy. And the great importance that you have created towards the other gender or certain apps have been created because you have, in a way, ridiculed it or made a big fuss out of something which every species of this planet goes through in order to promote their own species or promote their own kind. By making such a big fuss of it, you have started obsessing over it. There is a very important word called सहजता. सहजता means an attitude of simplicity, which is, instead of running away from things, it encourages to look at things through a balanced lens. And this is what is required. Instead of jumping on either of the extremes, one could be absenteeism or being scared, and the other could be an obsession or driving towards the subject in a hurry or a rush blindly. So without choosing either of those paths, the situation calls for a balanced approach of सहजता, looking at things and not getting carried away with the turbulent flow of things. When one does not live a balanced life, they have to resort to some or the other kind of addiction. It can be food, it can be of social media, it can be of alcoholism, or it can be of sex. So it is just indicating that you are not leading a healthy life. You could be dependent in ways, you could be stuck in your shell, you could be exhausted, you could be burnt out, it could be any of the causes. And the symptom might be your obsession. So rather, I would encourage you to reflect on your day-to-day life and see where you can improve things so that you achieve a state of samtam, which is also called as balance, and that सहजता of having healthy cordial relations with the other sex instead of just looking at them through the same lens, and in that way either becoming someone who is excessively indulging or someone who is excessively scared.